Suzanne, my dog has pancreatitis and I was told a high protein or fat diet will make it worse. Is it possible to do raw food but not go over the low protein they recommend? I think, Suzanne, you mean the low fat they recommend. So protein should not be a problem for pancreatitis. So pancreatitis typically occurs and is a huge problem, especially when pets are on processed food diets. The reason why is that the processing of the omega-3s or the fats that are in that food become rancid really quickly. Disgusting, right? So think about that bag of food. And I don't know if anyone actually talks about this, but if you're getting kibble, have you ever had a bag where you open it up and you're like, "Ooh, that smells really not normal?" And that's actually rancid fats. So the way that pet food companies make your pet want to eat the kibble is they will afterwards spray animal fat on the kibble to make it taste better. But the problem is, as soon as those fats are exposed to oxygen, so when you open the bag, then they start oxidizing and they can become rancid very quickly. And this is why I say don't get huge bags. Yes, it's easier, you go to the pet store less, but the chance of that bottom of that bag going rancid is super high. And then we're increasing inflammation, oxidation in the body, not good things for your pet. So with pancreatitis, a lot of times these pets have been on a processed food diet, and I'm not sure what Suzanne's been feeding, but that's something to think about if you're in a similar situation. Raw food diets are like the freshest. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes though, and I go back to I Chinese medicine background, we call it the spleen. Spleen is digestion. Qi is energy. And we make qi, we make blood from the food. And a lot of these pets are what we call spleen qi deficient. And their digestive tract is working overtime. There's a lot of inflammation. Raw food is very cooling energetically. You'll hear this with Dr. Susan Bohr, the energetics of different types of foods. And these pets may not be able to transition to a raw diet. So if you are going from a processed food diet, I always go through phases because they can be really sensitive. So going from kibble to either like a fresh food, homemade or pre-made brand like Chi Dog, which you'll see a lot of since they're a sponsor of our summit, amazing quality food. And then going to a raw diet. I'm using probiotics, prebiotics, and especially digestive enzymes because those are going to help the pancreas relax, take a break, breathe. And then the thing is that I still use real fats because we need fats for our cells. The cell wall is made up of lipids. Those are fats. So we don't want your pet to become deficient in essential fatty acids. They are essential for optimal cellular health. So when we use real food that hasn't been cooked at high, or real oils that haven't been cooked at high heat temperatures, so things like flaxseed, your green lip mussel, because they have a natural anti-inflammatory effect that actually helps heal some of the pancreatitis cases. But 100%, I never rule out raw for inflammatory bowel disease, pancreatitis, allergies. If we can get your pet there, fantastic. Now, if your pet's older, so older dogs sometimes don't tolerate raw. I think Susan talked about this last night on our panel discussion, and it's just because their digestive fire is lower and they need a little bit extra help. And when we lightly cook the food, it makes it easier to break down. So keep that in mind.